Stop doubting yourself. The very fact that you can imagine the life you desire is the first sign that it is already done. Your doubt appears only because your old self is trembling. It knows its time is over. Every time you feel a surge of worry, every time you feel the urge to check the physical world for proof, remind yourself that these impulses are not signs of failure. They are signs of transition. You are moving from who you were to who you truly are, and the old identity resists, not because you are wrong, but because you are growing beyond it. Your manifestation is not something you are waiting for. It is something you have already created in the unseen. The moment you desired it with sincerity, the moment you felt it as real even for a split second, that was the moment the new reality crystallized. Physical time only needs to rearrange itself to match what you have already accepted within. Do not confuse the delay of matter with the denial of the universe. The seed does not refuse to sprout simply because the soil is silent. These signs you are experiencing, the strange coincidences, the sudden urges to change routines, the unexpected emotions rising without reason, these are not random. They are the gentle nudges of a reality that has already shifted. When you feel an unexplainable sense of calm wash over you, even though nothing has changed on the outside, that is confirmation. Calm is not the absence of movement. Calm is the signal that alignment has already occurred. The wave settles only after the tide reaches its destined shore. When you feel discomfort, it is not a warning that you are losing your way. It is the stretching of your inner world as it expands to hold a higher version of you. The frequency of your desire is lifting you, and your nervous system is learning how to live as the person who already has what they asked for. Growth feels unfamiliar because you are stepping into what you once believed was impossible. And when you feel that sudden burst of excitement, those moments where the vision becomes so clear it feels like a memory, that is more than imagination. That is recognition. That is your inner being saying, yes, this is already yours. The dream feels real because it is real, just not yet translated into physical form. Your senses simply haven't caught up to what your spirit already accepted. If you keep seeing repeating numbers, hearing phrases that match your desire, or meeting people who mention your goal without knowing anything about your journey, these are echoes from the future you have already locked in. Reality is whispering through the cracks, reminding you that what you call desire is actually destiny. Your manifestation does not require your doubt. It does not require your fear. It only requires your willingness to believe what you felt in that sacred moment when your heart said, "This is mine." You don't need to push harder. You don't need to check when or how. The moment you chose it, it became a completed chapter in your universal script. So when your mind says, "I don't see it yet," understand what that truly means. It means you are in the final stage, the stage where silence precedes arrival, the stage where the universe rearranges itself in ways you cannot yet perceive, the stage where your inner state becomes more real than the world outside you. Stop doubting yourself. Doubt is just the ghost of the person you no longer are. These signs, these feelings, these shifts, they appear only when your manifestation is already done. You are not becoming aligned. You are aligned. You are not hoping for it. You have it. The outer world is simply moving toward the version of you that already knows this truth. And the moment you stop searching for proof outside yourself, the moment you stop chasing signs, you begin to notice something extraordinary. The world reacts to your inner state without hesitation. People begin treating you differently. Opportunities appear where none existed before. Invitations, ideas, impulses all begin to align with the version of you who already has what they desire. You don't need to ask why, the answer is simple. Your inner reality is the blueprint, and your outer world must follow it. It has no choice but to rearrange itself to reflect what you have claimed within. Even the moments when you feel disoriented, when nothing seems to make sense, are signs that you have shifted. Confusion is not chaos. Confusion is your old perception trying to reorganize itself to match the new reality. The discomfort doesn't mean you are off track. It means you are stepping into a higher frequency, and your mind is learning to navigate it. You are shedding layers you didn't know you were holding. You are releasing patterns you outgrew long ago. You are being prepared, refined, elevated. And when your desires begin to feel natural, when the dream that once felt too big now feels obvious, logical, expected, this is a sign that the manifestation is already here. Manifestation does not arrive when you feel the highest excitement. It arrives when you feel the deepest familiarity. That quiet confidence, that subtle certainty, that gentle knowing, that is the true indicator that your new reality has been accepted by your inner world. Once it is accepted, physical life simply becomes the last step. You may notice that you start losing interest in the things that once distracted you. You may begin distancing yourself from old habits, old fears, old conversations. This is not you withdrawing. This is you rising. You are detaching from everything that belongs to the version of you who didn't believe, who didn't trust, who doubted. There is no room for doubt when you become the embodiment of your desire. Doubt fades not because you force it away, but because the new identity does not recognize it. When you wake up with a strange sense of peace, when you go through your day with an unexplainable feeling that something good is already unfolding, you are not imagining it. That sensation is evidence. It is your inner being syncing with the timeline where everything you asked for already exists. You are not anticipating the future, you are remembering it. You are not wishing for change, you are aligning with what has already changed. The universe withdraws your old manifestations, not because you failed, but because you have outgrown them. Do not mistake the removal of the old as a lack of favor. Removal is preparation. The space created in your life is intentional. The silence you feel is purposeful. The pause is sacred. That emptiness you sense is not a void. It is the doorway through which the new reality enters. You are not being deprived. You are being readied. There are moments when you will feel unusually detached from your desire, as if you don't care anymore. This is one of the strongest signs of all. It means your subconscious has accepted the desire as already done. You are no longer grasping for it. You no longer feel the need to chase or monitor or control it. The grip has loosened because the truth has settled. You detach not from lack but from fulfillment. You will also find yourself acting differently without forcing it. You take steps, speak words, make decisions that align with the version of you who already has what they want. You no longer ask yourself, should I do this? You simply do it. You don't second guess. You don't hesitate. You follow the subtle impulses that feel natural, effortless, smooth. Those impulses are not random thoughts. They are guidance from the reality that already exists. Your inner and outer worlds are coordinating, synchronizing, merging. And when obstacles arise, when challenges appear, when unexpected events try to shake your belief, understand this clearly. These moments are not signs that you are losing your manifestation. They are signs that the old emotional residue is being pushed out. Every fear must rise in order to leave you. Every doubt must become visible before it dissolves. This is cleansing, not rejection. Don't retreat when resistance appears. It is the very moment you push through that the shift locks in. Sometimes you will feel a sudden urge to clean your space, to organize your life, to change your environment. That impulse is also a sign. It means your inner world is preparing your outer world to match the version of you who already has the manifestation. You are creating room for the new reality to land. Physical order reflects internal alignment. The desire to reset, refresh, redesign is evidence that a transformation has already taken place inside you. There will be days when you feel a wave of gratitude wash over you for no logical reason. You might look around and feel thankful for things that haven't yet shown up physically. This gratitude is not delusion. It is recognition. It is your energy blending with the timeline you have claimed. Gratitude flows naturally when the manifestation is complete within you. You don't wait for the physical evidence. You feel it because the inner evidence is undeniable. Pay attention when you start imagining your desire less and living as though it's normal more. When the fantasy becomes a memory, when the dream becomes a default state, that is the clearest signal that your manifestation is not coming, it is here. Your subconscious does not fantasize, it remembers. When the images replay in your mind effortlessly, without force, without strain, they are not wishes. They are echoes of a reality that is already unfolding. The people around you may begin to notice a shift even before you do. They may say you look different, sound different, feel different. They may not understand why, but they can sense the vibration change. Reality responds not only through circumstances, but also through relationships, through interactions, through the emotions you evoke in others. When people treat you differently for no apparent reason, it is because they are responding to the new version of you that has already manifested internally. Notice how your intuition becomes stronger. Notice how you pick up on subtle cues, how you feel guided without effort, how life seems to communicate with you through thoughts, signs, numbers, dreams. This heightened intuition is not random. It is alignment. You are tuning into the frequency of your desired reality. You are becoming sensitive to the guidance that leads you directly to the physical manifestation. You are not guessing, you are remembering, recognizing, responding. You may feel pulled away from certain people, certain environments, certain conversations. This is not rejection. This is elevation. You are moving toward a life where those old energies no longer fit. The universe removes what no longer matches your new identity, not as punishment, but as protection. You are being guided away from the past, so you can walk freely into the future that has already been prepared for you. When opportunities begin showing up unexpectedly, don't doubt them. They are the physical expressions of the shift you made within. Manifestation does not always arrive in the form you imagine. Sometimes it comes disguised as a small chance, a conversation, an idea, an invitation, something subtle that opens the path. Do not overlook the gentle nudges. The universe speaks softly when your alignment is strong. There are moments when you will feel a deep inner certainty that you can't explain. It is not excitement. It is not hope. It is knowing. It is the quiet, unwavering realization that nothing can stop what is already yours. This certainty is one of the most powerful signs. It means you have already crossed the threshold. You have already entered the realm where your manifestation is self-evident. You are not becoming aligned, you are aligned. You may also experience strange shifts in your sleep, vivid dreams, symbolic dreams, dreams that feel more real than waking life. During these states, your subconscious is reorganizing itself, rearranging the structure of your inner world to match the new timeline. You are being recalibrated. You are being aligned with the version of yourself that already has everything you asked for. The dream world is not a separate realm, it is the blueprint of your physical reality. When you feel inspired out of nowhere, when ideas flow effortlessly, when motivation rises naturally without forcing it, that inspiration is another sign. It is the creative energy of your manifestation pulling you forward. It is the momentum of a future that already exists drawing you into it. You don't chase inspiration. Inspiration emerges when your inner world aligns with what is already yours. And when you feel tired, when you feel like resting, when your soul asks for stillness, honor it. This fatigue is not weakness, it is integration. Your energy is adjusting to the frequency of your manifested reality. Your mind, body, and spirit are synchronizing. Rest is not resistance. Rest is acceptance. Rest is alignment. Rest is the final stage before physical reality catches up. Sometimes you will feel like you don't recognize yourself anymore. Your reactions change. Your thoughts shift. Your emotions feel different. This internal transformation is one of the strongest signs of all. You cannot receive a new life with an old identity. The universe upgrades your inner state before it delivers the outer result. You are not losing yourself, you are meeting yourself. And pay attention to this when life suddenly becomes calm right before the manifestation. Do not misinterpret the quiet. Do not let your mind tell you that nothing is happening. The quiet is sacred. The quiet is the final alignment. The quiet is the stillness before the arrival. Silence is not absence. Silence is completion. Your manifestation is already done. The signs are not outside you. They are happening within you, through you, around you. Doubt is only a shadow that appears in the presence of light. The very fact that you can imagine the desire, the very fact that you have felt it as real, means it is already written, already secured, already unfolding. And every breath you take as the version of you who already has it draws the physical world closer to the truth you hold within. There is a moment in every transformation where you begin to feel as though you are walking between two versions of reality. You wake up in the old world, but something inside you knows you are no longer part of it. You interact with familiar people and familiar surroundings, yet they feel distant, almost like shadows of a place you once lived but have outgrown. This sensation is not confusion, it is confirmation. You are shifting from the known to the destined, from what was to what you have already claimed. The bridge between realities is subtle, but you feel it every time your imagination feels more real than your current circumstances. This is the stage where most begin to doubt themselves, not realizing that it is the clearest sign that their manifestation has already taken root. When you find yourself drifting into daydreams about the life you desire without effort, without forcing it, it is because that reality is already pulling you into alignment. The dream feels comfortable because it is no longer a fantasy, it is a preview. It is a memory of the future your inner being has already created. You don't have to convince yourself anymore. The feeling arises naturally, effortlessly, like an instinct. This is not delusion. It is resonance. If you ever notice that your desires begin to feel less urgent, less desperate, less painful to think about, understand the significance of this shift. This is what happens when your subconscious has accepted the new identity. You are no longer operating from a place of lack. You are operating from a place of possession. The energy of desperation fades because the inner world is no longer seeking, it is holding. You detach not because you are giving up, but because your mind has stopped fighting the reality that is already yours. There will be days when you feel unusually emotional without any clear reason. Moments where your chest feels full, your heart feels tender, and your mind feels quiet. These moments often appear right before a major manifestation materializes. You may be surprised by sudden tears or a sense of overwhelming gratitude. This emotional release is not a breakdown, it is alignment. It is your system preparing to receive the physical reflection of what you have internalized. Your emotions are clearing space, making room for your desires to arrive without resistance. Things will fall apart right before your manifestation shows up, and you may mistake this collapse as a sign of failure. But what is falling apart is not your dream. It is the old structure that cannot sustain the version of you who has already received. Pieces of your old life crumble, not because you are losing, but because the universe is removing what blocks the path. You are not being destroyed. You are being rebuilt. The universe clears the old before delivering the new, because it knows that what awaits you cannot coexist with what limited you. You might also notice that people you once connected with begin to drift away. Conversations that used to engage you no longer capture your interest. You may feel isolated even if you are surrounded by others. This isolation is not punishment, it is elevation. You are being lifted into a new frequency, and not everyone can rise with you. Once your manifestation has been accepted internally, the universe gently guides away those who resonate with your old identity. You are not losing people. You are losing limits. During this shift, you may find that your thoughts become more deliberate, more intentional, more refined. You start catching yourself when old patterns try to reappear. You don't spiral the way you used to. You don't collapse under doubt the way you once did. You recognize that your thoughts are choices, not commands. This awareness is a sign of alignment. You have moved into a state where your mind no longer controls you, you control your mind. And this shift in mental power is one of the most powerful indicators that your manifestation is already unfolding. You will also experience moments where small signs appear consistently: numbers, symbols, familiar words, repeated messages that mirror your desires. These signs are not coincidences. They are reflections of the vibrational shift occurring within you. When the inner world shifts, the outer world echoes it. These signs are not asking you to hope, they are confirming what you have already aligned with. Your desire may feel so normal that you question why it ever felt difficult. You may wonder why you ever doubted. This normalization is one of the final stages of manifestation. It means your subconscious has integrated the desire so deeply that it no longer feels separate from you. It feels obvious, natural, expected. And what becomes expected becomes experienced. Notice how your inner dialogue transforms. You don't speak to yourself from a place of longing anymore. You speak from a place of acknowledgement. You say things like, when it comes, not if it comes. You think, of course it will happen, rather than, I hope it happens. These subtle shifts in language are not trivial. They are signs that your identity has merged with the version of you who already has what you desire. Your words reveal your state, and your state reveals your manifestation. There may be a period where nothing seems to happen, where everything feels still, almost frozen. This stillness is not stagnation, it is incubation. The universe is completing what you cannot yet see. Your manifestation is arranging itself behind the scenes, aligning people, opportunities, timing, circumstances, everything required to bring your inner world into physical form. The silence before the manifestation appears is often the loudest proof that it is near. The universe is quiet when it is working the hardest. When you feel the urge to improve yourself, even in small ways, it is another sign. You may want to fix your routine, clean your room, take better care of your mind and body. These desires arise because the new version of you is integrating. You don't force change. You feel pulled toward it. You feel called to act in ways that align with the version of you who already has your manifestation. This is the embodiment process. Embodiment is the bridge between internal alignment and external creation. There will be moments when you sense a new level of confidence emerging from within. It may not be loud or boastful, it may be subtle, grounded, quiet, but it is unmistakable. You move differently. You speak differently. You carry yourself with a quiet certainty that doesn't need validation. This confidence is not arrogance, it is evidence. You are stepping into the self that belongs to your manifested reality. If you notice that you no longer feel triggered by certain things that once bothered you, understand the significance of that shift. Trigger points fade when the old identity loses power. When the emotional charge dissolves, it means the past no longer controls your future. Emotional neutrality is a sign of alignment. You are no longer reacting from your wounds, you are acting from your truth. You will feel a sudden burst of clarity, a deep knowing that the path ahead is already set. This clarity may come in a whisper, a feeling, a moment of stillness. It is not something you create, it is something you receive. This clarity is the voice of your new reality speaking to you. It is the confirmation that the manifestation is no longer something you are trying to attract. It is something that is already unfolding. You may also notice synchronicities unfolding in ways that feel almost orchestrated. The right person calls at the right time. The right idea arrives at the perfect moment. The right opportunity appears when you least expect it. You cannot force these synchronicities. They happen when you align. They happen when you stop doubting yourself. They happen because the universe responds to certainty, not confusion. During this phase, you might feel drawn to solitude, not because you are lonely, but because you are evolving. Solitude becomes sacred. Silence becomes comforting. You begin to enjoy your own presence more deeply because you are finally meeting the version of yourself that has been waiting for you. This self-recognition is profound. When you feel comfortable alone, you are aligned. When you trust your own energy, you are receiving. Your desires may begin to feel closer, so close that you can sense them emotionally, physically, energetically. You may find yourself smiling without reason, feeling warmth in your chest, feeling anticipation without fear. This sensation is not wishful thinking. It is alignment. It is your energy merging with the reality you have created. You are not imagining closeness, you are feeling it. If you find yourself speaking about your future self as though they are your current identity, that shift is crucial. You say, I am instead of I will. You say, I have instead of I want. This linguistic transformation is one of the strongest signs because it reflects a deeper internal acceptance. You speak differently because you believe differently. You believe differently because you have become different. You may notice that when negative thoughts arise, they pass quickly. They no longer consume you the way they did before. This is not avoidance, it is mastery. You have learned to observe thoughts without becoming them. You have learned to return to your desired state without forcing it. You have learned that the inner world is responsive, not rigid. This ease with shifting your energy is evidence of your evolution. There may come a moment where your desire no longer feels like something outside you. It feels like something within you, alive, vibrant, inevitable. And when you feel this inevitability, you know that manifestation is no longer a question. It is a matter of unfolding. Every breath you take in this state pulls your manifestation closer. Every thought you choose in alignment strengthens the bridge. Every moment of trust rewrites your reality, and every step you take as the version of you who already has it shifts the world around you in ways you cannot yet see, but will soon understand. This is the power of becoming. This is the power of alignment. This is the power of knowing that your manifestation is already done. And now, as you stand in this moment between who you were and who you are becoming, remember this truth with every breath you take: nothing you desire is outside of you. Nothing you seek is separate from you. The life you dream of is not waiting in the distance, it is rising from within. The signs you have seen, the shifts you have felt, the whispered moments of clarity, they are not coincidences, they are confirmations. So trust the feeling that calls you forward. Trust the knowing that refuses to be silenced. Trust the version of yourself that already lives in the reality you have claimed. Doubt may knock, but it cannot stay. Fear may whisper, but it cannot lead. You are no longer the person who hopes. You are the person who embodies. And the universe responds not to what you want, but to who you are. Walk with certainty now. Walk with the quiet power of someone who already holds the outcome. Walk with the strength of someone who understands that their manifestation is not coming. It is here, unfolding in every unseen moment, aligning in every breath, revealing itself in every step you take. Your only task now is to remain the version of yourself who knows this truth. Because the moment you stop doubting yourself, the universe stops delaying what has always been yours.